Hello learners, this is Habeeba with Excelwithme. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Let's start today's class, that is research methodology. Under that we have discussed educational research unit 1. Already we have covered the meaning, definition, aims, need and nature and scope of educational research. Today we are going to discuss the characteristics and prerequisites of educational research. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Now let's start today's class. That is, first we will recapitulate a few points related to educational research here. Now the main goal of research is gathering and interpreting information. Why? To answer the questions of the researchers. And then research is a systematic attempt to provide answers to questions. We will go in systematic way. That is a systematic attempt here. Very important point. Now next, the major concern of educational research is to understand, explain and to some extent predict and control human behaviors. Through taking the research topics or problems, what is the main concern of this educational research? To understand and be able to explain, to some extent predict and control human behaviors. So the main purpose of educational research is to improve teaching learning process and suggest effective steps for the proper utilization of educational resources. This is very important point here. What is the main purpose of educational research? Now, educational research refers to a variety of methods in which individuals evaluate different aspects of education, including but not limited to student learning, teaching methods, teacher training and classroom dynamics. These are all important. These are all the aspects included in the education, but these are not just limited to these. Other things also are there. Majorly in education field, we take into consideration all these aspects. Otherwise, we can go in deeper also with so many areas and aspects also. So let's start with the general characteristics of educational research here. It's a way of thinking. Very important characteristic. It's a way of, each and every researcher and individual has the unique way of their thinking process. So this is one characteristic. Then begins with a question in mind. If a question in mind is there, then only we will be able to search related to that problem, right? Then gives feedback. Obviously when doing research, what happens? Main characteristics of this educational research, it gives us the feedback. What are all the things we have done, everything will be covered here. Then comes the plan. Very important, it requires a plan. Obviously without planning we will not even do a single work at home or in any educational institute or any profession we can take. We need a plan of action. Obviously here also for educational research, main characteristics is a plan. That is how we plan about taking up any research topic or research problem. We have to think or design everything beforehand. Then demands a clear statement of the problem. Obviously we have clear picture of our problem, then only we will be able to move forward. Then deals with the main problem through sub problems. We have some variables, maybe one independent variable or two independent variables and then intervening variables and sub problems of that we will work upon. Then seeks direction through appropriate hypothesis. Obviously this hypothesis is very important. After doing our review of literature, what we will do? We come to some tentative solutions of our problem. That is very important, in which way we are going, that seeks direction through appropriate hypothesis. Then deals with facts and their meaning. Obviously we will connect with the facts and we will understand about the meaning of those facts. Now specific characteristics of educational research. Firstly, directed towards the solution of a problem in the field of particularly education. That is a specific characteristic. Then it emphasizes the development of generalizations, principles or theories that will be helpful in predicting future occurrences. Just now I told you we do lots of review of literature. What does it give us? It will give us to predict the future occurrences. We give the hypothesis, what could be the tentative solutions, and we also generalize the things. We will understand the principles and also the theories. Major characteristics is emphasizes on the development of generalizations, principles or theories. Then goes beyond the specific objects, obviously groups or situations investigated, and infers characteristics of a target population from the sample observed. So we will take a big population, under that we choose some samples on which specifically we do investigate related to the problem and get the answers to that. Then involves getting new data from primary or first hand sources or using existing data for a new purpose, obviously. Then accepts only what can be verified by observation. That is very important here. What is the main character here? Verified by observations. We do all the statistical treatment to verify what observations are empirically correct or not. Then carefully designed procedures, always applying rigorous analysis. Yes, analysis is very, very important. After designing the procedures, at the end we do the analysis of the interpretations and then we come to the conclusions. Now strives to be objective and logical, applying every possible test to validate the procedures employed, the data collected and the conclusions reached. Obviously, it strives to be objective and logical. How? By applying the possible test to validate the procedure employed, and also we collect the data and come to the conclusions, and requires expertise. Obviously, without understanding about the ABCD of the research, we cannot directly take the problem and get into it. We need to have understanding about whole planning, designing, procedure, everything from the beginning chapter to the end of the chapter. We should understand what we are going to do. That means we have to have the expertise related to the research. Everything we should understand, research methodology. Then involves the quest for answers to unsolved problems. Obviously, every researcher must have inquisitiveness to do something, get the answers to the unsolved problems. Thus, enthusiasm must be there in the researcher. That's a best characteristic. Then based on insight and imagination. This is also important. Now requires an interdisciplinary approach. We cannot take just one area or one discipline. Education is a vast area, but it also integrates other disciplines in it, like psychology, technology, philosophy, guidance and counseling, everything. Many areas are interlinked with this education. This is a very important approach, interdisciplinary approach. Now related to the study, complex relations about facts, we will understand. That's also one characteristic. Now educational research has a great field, obviously. What are all it includes? This educational psychology, educational philosophy, methodology, class organization and management, child development and other subjects are the fields of research in education, etc. Now let's understand, we have understood the characteristics of educational research. Now understand the prerequisites of educational research. What are the requirements to do this educational research? First one is, it must be highly purposeful. Without any purpose, we will not do any work either. So there must be a purpose behind whatever educational research we are doing. The first prerequisite is highly purposeful. Then must deal with educational problems regarding students and teachers as well. So apart from other organizational issues or areas related to educational problems, students and teachers are very, very important subjects here. Then precise, objective, scientific and systematic process of investigation. This is very important prerequisite. How this educational research, that should be precise, it should not be vague, that lead to so much of ambiguousness. then it should be objective specific, then also scientific, statistical treatment is very important, inquiry is very important, inquisitiveness in that is very important, evidences are very important. And then it must be obviously systematic process. We cannot do first any data, how to collect the data and then go to the review of literature. We cannot do all those things. So how we will come? First conceptual frame, a problem we will understand, then we will do the related literature, and then research methodology what we will apply, then generalization and conclusions. Everything will come with a plan and systematic process. Now the next prerequisite, attempt to organize data quantitatively and qualitatively to arrive at statistical inferences. Obviously what assumptions we have made, it should organize the data maybe qualitatively or quantitatively to arrive any inferences. Then discover new facts in new perspective. Each and every individual is unique in their thoughts and actions. So new facts in new perspective is also important here. Generate new knowledge obviously based on some philosophic theory. This educational research must be based on some philosophic theory. Already wisdom is there, already so many theories have been made, according to that it should be. Then depend on the researchers, obviously this is very important, researchers ability, ingenuity and experience for its interpretation and conclusions. This researcher's ability is minds a lot, then ingenuity and experience. Then need, obviously we have discussed about this interdisciplinary approach for solving educational problems. Then demand subjective interpretation and deductive reasoning in some cases. Subjective we will take interpretation, and sometimes what happens, deductive reasoning, that is specific to, we will move to general here. Then use classroom, schools, colleges, Department of Education as the laboratory for conducting research. This is a very important prerequisite here. So we come to the end of this 1B. I'll come up with 1C in the next class. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Thanks for your attention and time. Happy learning.